Hi everybody. Wanted to ask really quickly, do a short live so there could be a short highlight that hopefully gets this sentiment. Has any other country besides America right now, has any other ruler besides Trump, has any other ruler before Trump tried to start a civil war in the country that they're the ruler of? Has that ever happened before in human history? Has any other ruler of the country tried to start a civil war in their own country? And then the next question is the follow up question: why would you do that other than to destroy the country that you're the ruler of? Possibly for Putin, say in this case. Or in this case, for Putin, to destroy America for Putin. Yeah, that's what Trump does, everything. But also to start a civil war in America for Putin so that when Putin starts his World War III, America's like, oh, we're too busy. We're too busy over here. Kind of the same as keeping America out of World War II by being, having our own problems. This idea that we had our own problems to deal with was one of the arguments to keep America out of World War II. So, has any ruler before Trump ever started a war in their own country to destroy that country? Or is there another reason why Trump is trying to start a civil war in America right now? Has any ruler before Trump tried to start a civil war in the country that they're the ruler of? Or is Trump the first one ever to do that? And why is Trump doing it? In this case, if we have a case to look at, Trump trying to start a civil war in America, he's trying to do it for Putin, to destroy America. He's trying to do it because why did he dismantle all of our government and stuff too? To destroy America. Then why is he trying to start a civil war? To destroy America even further. Why is he kicking everybody off Medicaid and all this stuff? To destroy America. And then why is he trying to start a civil war? To destroy America further and faster. Why does Trump want to destroy America? Well, Putin wants to destroy America. Trump's going to do what Putin wants him to do, especially this case. This is like the ultimate goal for Putin. Putin has the other goal of wanting to start World War III and have America be too busy with its own civil war that we started ourselves, or that Trump started for us. Trump's terrorist network factions started for us. And because the Nick Fuentes, Trump, Putin side of the terrorist network just attacked the Charlie Kirk, Trump, Putin side of the terrorist network. And then they thought they could blame trans people and then blame Democrats and get people to attack trans people and Democrats and get people to fight back and get, do all these threats to uh, historically black colleges, universities, get those locked down, get people to act out. And I guess that's some of the worst things they did that I know of. They may have done much worse things. But if Trump's trying to start a civil war in America, has any ruler of a country ever done that in their own country before? And what would Trump's reason for doing it be other than to destroy America for Putin, which I think is really the reason. But when you think, well, then why would all these people support Trump if you could tell that his goal was to destroy America for Putin? Well, you can tell if you look at it, if you are discerning and you look at it. But why would people be on his side who claim to be super American? Um, Probably for racism. Probably because the way Trump is selling the Civil War to them is to say, if you have a civil war for me, we'll make the country more white. The racist stuff that Trump's always doing is probably the reason why he's doing that. Now it'll backfire. If they start a civil war, the country will end up being less white. The country they'll end up losing, and the country will be much less white. But that's what he's doing. That's how he's selling it to his people. But it's really for Putin to destroy America. That's just, everything Trump does makes so much more sense if you just look at it that way and say, oh yeah, this is going to destroy America, or this is going to help destroy America, and Trump's doing that for Putin. But the other thing he's doing for Putin is if he starts a civil war in America, then America is less likely to get involved, or able to take his excuses to not get involved when Trump starts World War III in Europe. Sorry, when Putin starts World War III in Europe. But again, everything Trump's doing is for Putin. But I would ask you, there's only 5 people in here now, but I'm going to go ahead and shut this down in the next 5 minutes or so, 5 or 10 minutes, so it can post easier, because it can post sooner and more people can comment in the future, unless people want to go ahead and comment now. But why would somebody want to start, why would a ruler want to start a civil war in the country that they're in? What's the goal there? I think we can tell why Trump is doing it. I always thought Trump's doing everything for Putin to destroy America. So Trump's trying to start a civil war in America because that really helps destroy America for Putin. Box checked. That's what he wanted to do. Trump's telling his followers, I think, that he wants to start a civil war here, or that he'll be able to start a civil war because they can make the country more white because they're real racist. So that's their goal, and that'll backfire on them. The country will be less white, and they'll lose the civil war a lot faster than they lost their first civil war. But and people would believe that, people would buy into that, I think, because there's a lot of pretty racist people in America who would buy into that and are supporting Trump for that reason, to get their civil war out of it. But Trump's not probably really doing it for that reason. I think Trump's probably aware that what he's doing is for Putin, and that what Putin really wants is to destroy America. Like, he hugs the flag or whatever, but like, it's even as stupid as Trump is, and he's fucking stupid. But as stupid as he is, he's right in the middle of it, and he's got to realize, he's got to know that Putin is trying to destroy America. I don't know. Putin plays people like that. Putin played Netanyahu like that too. I mean, it also seems like Netanyahu, stupid as he is, would be smart enough to know that he's destroying his country. I don't know. I mean, I think that's very similar. That Putin runs Trump and Netanyahu pretty much the same way, is that promising them that their country's going to be more what they want it, because he's got the power and they can see themselves getting more and more power, and on and on, because they're following Putin's orders to get that power. And so it's more what they want until it's not, until it destroys the country. And I think, the similarity of the Klan and the KGB here is, to me, like they just merged. Like, we had the Klan here in America, and they had the KGB in Russia, and now we have them like merged in the Timu KGB, the FBI, and the Klan and neo-Nazis in America, and these Nazi KGB. And they're using Netanyahu and the Zionists to kill other people that they don't like. They really like exterminating people, or like treating people like they need to be exterminated, and getting other people to do it for them is what they're doing right now in Gaza. And then when there's backlash on that and bad things happen to the people of Israel, they really like that too, because they're Klansmen, because they're neo-Nazis. So just the fact that they've managed to use these people to do their genocide to another group of people, just like, we supposedly beat the Nazis in World War II, but then they've taken over Russia, the two of their biggest opponents, Russia and America. They've taken over Russia, 80 years later. They've taken over America 80 years later. Like, they won these countries. They took over these countries without war. So on the one hand, that shows you that war isn't necessary anymore. Like, the big things that can happen, like taking over a country, happen without war. They happen with information and influence and stuff like that, and control over messaging and stuff like that, control over these platforms like Net and YouTube. And so war is obsolete in that sense, but they still have wars, and the wars are really just them against us, because, whose side were you on for the Putin-Iran war? Were you on Putin, for the bombing of Iran? Were you on Putin and Iran's side, or were you on Putin and Trump's side, or were you on Putin and Netanyahu's side? Just like, whose side are you on for the Charlie Kirk shooting? Are you on Charlie Kirk and Putin and Trump's side? Or are you on Nick Fuentes and Putin and Trump's side? Like, it's so stupid. And Putin just like plays both sides of things so much. He's not really playing both sides. Putin's not playing anybody on the left. Putin's playing all these branches of the right. All these different branches of the right. Trump-Hooniers, or Space Force in the streets, Flat Earth in the sheets. There's both branches of both beliefs. But Charlie Kirk and Nick Fuentes, they weren't even different. They just, like, Charlie Kirk's followers had his giant head for a mascot, and Nick Fuentes followers had that Pepe the Frog for a mascot. Like, that's the only difference between them. But they managed to have enough of a fight to get, one of Nick Fuentes' supporters to kill Charlie Kirk. Like, anyway, the KGB, Putin's KGB, that's why I call them Trump Putineers. Because anybody who follows Trump is really following Putin. Putin's KGB got these disinformation networks to do this stuff. You can always see how they do it, and they're all so coordinated. They're all put out the same lies at the same time. I think Netanyahu and Trump tweeted about Charlie Kirk's death in the exact same minute. Like, they couldn't wait to spring their plan, to spring their, it's so in your face. How much they're working together. Are you praying to the goddess for me, Geese88? Thanks for your prayers. Anyway, I'm going to shut down the live. I just wanted to do a quick one where I asked people, can you answer the question, is Trump the first ruler of a country to try to start a civil war in his own country to destroy that country? Is this the first time this ever happened? It seems like the first time it's ever happened to me. And why would you try to start a civil war in a country that you're the ruler of? Unless it's to destroy that country for your ruler, for your master, Putin. And of course, if Trump's trying to start a civil war in America, while Putin's trying to start Civil War III, or starting Civil War III, World War III, if Trump's trying to start Civil War II in America, while Putin's starting World War III in the world, then it's partly to keep America from being able to help everybody fight Putin in World War III. It's so stupid. And war is so stupid. We don't even need to have the war. Putin keeps starting wars, so we could stop Putin one way or another and stop wars. But Putin keeps having the wars. Okay. Somebody made a comment. I'm going to try to read it since they bothered writing all this before I shut the live down. But I'm not going to keep the live up very much longer, so you guys don't have to comment. You can't have a conversation with anything I say. This is the first thing I heard you've said. Roo-boo. The first time I've ever seen you. Roo-boo. That shows how little you actually believe what you're saying. This first comment, maybe you wrote some comments that didn't appear because YouTube deletes a lot of comments. Net and YouTube likes to delete comments, like Israel likes to delete journalists. But that's the first comment I heard you say. If you want to just repeat it, I'll try to answer your question before, or debate you, or whatever you want to do before I end the live. But Tumbling Down says, you're stupid, with 2 O's. And you're, spelled Y-O-U-R. You're stupid. My stupid what? Your is the possessive. Anyway, I'm not a grammar Trumputin here. I'm not going to try to teach you guys a grammar lesson. But there's 36 of you in here. They caught Israel's head of cybersecurity in a pedo sting in Las Vegas. And they let him go, which makes them pedophiles. Now that you know that, if you don't say something about it or tell somebody about it, then it makes you a pedophile. Don't let pedophiles go. Don't let Trump go. Same thing goes for Trump. If you support Trump right now, you're a pedophile. Stop doing it. Okay? Everybody knows Trump's a pedophile. It's going to look so bad in the future. Stop supporting Trump. It makes you a pedophile. Stop doing it. He's terrible. And he's a traitor. I should take my own advice. We should point out that Trump is a pedophile, but we should also point out every time that he's a traitor and a Nazi. He's all 3 of these things. He's all some of the worst things that people can be. And that's all Trump. Why are there 44 people in here now? Why is nobody saying anything? Say something if you have something left to say, Rubu. I was waiting for you to finish saying something. Ghost Samurai 25 is back. The guy who busted up some Peachtree City witches coven. Cyber Nerds, good morning. Demon King me is awake. Josh Osborne says, and some, come on, Harris was just stupid. I was going to vote for Kamala Harris despite her genocide instead of Trump and making genocide worse. And I think I've been proven right in that. The genocide's gotten worse since Trump took over. And I think Harris, we hope that the idea was we could have gotten her to actually stop the genocide. Trump hasn't done anything to stop the genocide. He actually just ignored it. I don't report people really, Ghost Samurai. I report people who dox me, or who try to dox me because they deserve to get reported, I guess. Liam von Ginkel says the right has been united. Y'all have been radical lies is no, the right. You guys just one of your main guys, Nick Fuentes, just had one of his followers shoot one of your other main guys, Charlie Kirk. You're not united. You're a bunch of fractured terrorists in a large Putin-run terrorist network that you need to wake up to that and stop being in that network. It's like if there were two different types of Al Qaeda, and you guys were so happy about how you were on one side instead of the other side. Like you probably are on different sides of it. You all treat me like the enemy because I'm the liberal, I'm the leftist, I'm the American. But you guys are Trump-Putiners. Stop being that. It's bad. Candace Owens called out. I mean, the way you said that, you could have said Candace Owens called out Israel, the IDF, Netanyahu, something like that. But you said it. Candace Owens called out them Jews. Like it's not Jews. It's not Jewish people. It's the Zionists. You can say Zionists. Like you can at least stop being bigoted. Like that's the choice you make. You make the choice to say Jews instead of Zionists. Jews aren't Zionists. Zionists are pretty anti-Jewish, really, when it comes down to it. So just say Zionists. And then you would have the support of Jewish people who want to preserve Judaism from the threat of Zionism. Like you can check out the Church of Judas to replace patriarchy Christianity and save Jesus from the evil of Antichrist Christianity, Catholicism, Orthodoxy, evangelism, whatever that's called, evangelicalism. This guy drinks soy in his coffee. I don't drink coffee, actually. Liam Von Kinkel says Nick Fuentes is fringe. We know that. So is Charlie Kirk. Like, you're acting like Charlie Kirk is some mainstream Christian guy. Nick Fuentes is just as Christian as Charlie Kirk is. They're the same. To us, the people who've made fun of both of these guys for years, I didn't know that Nick Fuentes was even to the right of Charlie Kirk. I thought they were both damn same. Except the only difference was Nick Fuentes has the Pepe the Frog logo, and Charlie Kirk has a giant head. Free Palestine. All right, we got a human in here. First human. Thank you. You didn't have to retract your message. Rubu says you still believe that Robinson was far right? Even though it's been proven he's on the left. Proven? You're the people who listen to lies like, oh, it was Sky Valadez. It was the trans girl, Sky Valadez. You listen to lies like, as soon as it was Tyler Robinson, because it can't be Sky Valadez anymore. Actually, as soon as it was Tyler Robinson, you said that Tyler Robinson's trans identity was Sky Valadez. Like you were doubling down on blaming a trans person and saying Tyler Robinson had to be trans. And then as soon as it was proven he wasn't trans, then you came up with a lie that his roommate was trans and that they were in a relationship. And that's why. Nobody was trans. It's freaking Utah. Nobody was trans. I mean, I'm not saying there aren't trans people in Utah. That would be erasure of trans people. I don't mean that at all. But nobody was trans, okay? Like, nobody in the whole situation was trans. Right? Like, can you admit that yet? Saying they're trans is your way of trying to demonize trans people / create some type of backlash to make people who want to hurt trans people feel justified to do that. Because Charlie Kirk. But you're not. That makes you into just Nazis. Just reveals you're Nazis. So don't be Nazis. Murray has some love signs, I think. I can't tell what they are. It's just hearts. It's just like, maybe like Star of David and hearts. And like YouTube hid it for some reason. It's so weird. But I'll click show to try to unhide it. And then anger at Israel. I understand that. I think it's hearts for Jewish people. Anger at Israel. Totally makes sense. Totally agree. I think that's the human response. Israel, it doesn't represent Jewish people, but right now it's been representing Zionist people. Just like America right now represents Nazis. Trump is a Nazi, and America is being represented by Nazis. We need to stop that. And pedophiles. We need to stop being represented by a pedophile. Dilly says, the guy hasn't watched any news in the last week, apparently. Yeah, I've watched the news, and the news repeat Trump lies about his roommate was a trans. Oh, that person, he wasn't trans? Well, his roommate was trans. That's a Trump lie. The news repeated it, but it's still a lie. A lot of news repeated that it was Sky Valadez. That's a lie. It's a lie to blame trans people. It's a lie because their whole agenda was to blame trans people. That's a lie. It was a Nick Fuentes follower, a groiper. What's his name? Tyler Robinson. You can tell that by the bullet casings. Okay? Leftists have solidarity. Leftists have intersectionality. That means we care about all of the other issues. You know, we might know about certain issues more than others, and that's what we speak on or something like that. But we care about all the other issues to the point that we know there's issues we don't know about that we still want to care about and be more informed about, okay? That's the leftist perspective. That's what a leftist does. So for him to write, if you're reading this, you're gay, LMAO, that shows he's a homophobic person. He's not on the side of people who care about LGBTQ group. He's not an ally or anything like that. He's a homophobic person. Bella Ciao is his. I meant to look it up. Has Nick Fuentes ever mentioned Bella Ciao in one of his, you know, it's an anti-fascist song. But if he's just writing that to try to blame anti-fascists, a wolf in sheep's clothing doesn't make sheep bad. Same with the anti-fascist video game that he played that is apparently tongue-in-cheek anti-fascist, which means it's blatantly fascist in order to, blatantly uses fascist stuff in order to make fun of fascists. It's like, it's so much how he thought Charlie Kirk was a fascist, according to two things. The way these Trump boutonniers get so twisted about stuff. There's Space Force in the streets, Flat Earth in the sheets. And the way they get so twisted about stuff, they blame Antifa for being the fascists. And then if Nick Fuentes is a little further to the right than Charlie Kirk, then he blames Charlie Kirk for being more like the Antifa fascists. But we're not the fascists. We're the anti-fascists. That's what Antifa means. Anti-fascists, right? Really, all humans are by nature anti-fascist. But you can get caught up in a terrorist network such as Charlie Kirk's white nationalist, Christian nationalist terrorist network, and Nick Fuentes' white nationalist, Nazi, Christian nationalist terrorist network. That's a terrorist network. Don't get caught up in it. It's just like getting caught up in Al Qaeda, right? And so we're anti-fascist because we want to help you out of that. We don't want to hurt you. We want to help you out of those ways of thinking in those terrorist organizations. They want to just hurt people. And you just saw one of them killed Charlie Kirk. Okay? That's how that goes down. Did I miss some comments here? I haven't watched any news. I've watched the news where they try to blame trans people. And they try to blame they make up other people are trans to blame them. All you're doing is showing, if you repeat that stuff, that you're part of this anti-trans Nazi agenda. Stop being part of that. It's really bad. It's bad for your victims, the trans people, and it's bad for you. It's very unhealthy. Chad Jones had a comment I had to review to see that says Tyler Robinson's. No, he's trying to spread some trans stuff. I guess you typed that before I fully explained it, but you're trying to blame trans people. Okay, I'm showing your comments so everybody can say what you are, and I'm going to go ahead and get your information out there too. You joined 13 years ago. You have 0 subscribers. Chad Jones. I'm not going to read your comment out. It's in the chat. I assume they can review it, track you down from there. Sure as hell not a groiper. No, he's certainly a groiper because you're expressing the lies that he's not a groiper and trying to back that up with an imaginary trans girlfriend. He had a roommate. They weren't in a relationship. Roommate wasn't trans. Trump said he was, and some newspapers, some news outlets, some journalists repeated it, but that's not true. Okay? Trump said he was dead before anybody else knew it. I mean, suspicious much? And Trump said he was dead the minute that Netanyahu said he was dead. Like, they got their orders from Putin to tell them that it was time to send their tweets out. Like, you guys, come on. You guys have been taken in. Nobody was trans. Okay? They're telling you that people were trans, just like they told you the shooter himself was trans to begin with, or herself was trans when they told you it was Sky Valadez. They tried to tell you that. They tried to push that as far as they could to get, for 5 or 6 hours before Tyler Robinson came out, they had to get, 5 or 6 hours of trying to get you guys to attack trans people by lying that it was a certain trans person. And then as soon as that went away, first they were saying that Tyler Robinson was Sky Valdez. That was the first thing they were saying. They were saying, we got it right that it was a trans person, and this is his trans identity. And then, as soon as that wasn't catching on, because I saw that in plenty of comments, like, it's a net, you guys are part of a network of misinformation and terrorism. It's a Nazi network. It's a KGB run Nazi network of misinformation and terrorism. And when that wasn't catching, you're making up this idea that his roommate was trans and blaming a trans person there that you made up. Somebody named Twiggs or Lance Twiggs or something. You guys are making this up. You guys are, I mean, there's nothing wrong with being trans except for that you become targets of crazy terrorists like you guys. But by saying that this actual trans person was the shooter, then you're jeopardizing that girl's life even more than you already had with your previous transphobia. If you're saying that Tyler Robinson's boyfriend whatever, if you're making up a lie about his roommate, then you're jeopardizing that person's life because you're trying to steer your terrorist revenge sentiment against one of these people who had nothing to do with it. If anything, his roommate's helping the police, or you're afraid of anybody helping the police because you know he's a groyper, because you know it's going to lead back to Nick Fuentes, to Trump, to Putin. Nick Fuentes and Kanye West had dinner with Trump, and he never disavowed him. Anyway, I think we've done a long enough live. Oh my gosh, you guys wrote all these comments? I didn't see that all these damn comments came through. Who the hell are you people? Why are you writing all these comments? Who has time for these comments? Hello, 146 people. Now that 146 people are in here, that's about as many as ever get in my life. You all know that Trump is trying to start a civil war in America right now. So let's stop him. Trump is partly trying to start the civil war because Putin's trying to start World War III. We can stop that too. Or we can end both of these wars really quickly in ways that they weren't expecting. Like a lot faster than they expected. We can call it the 3-day war. But we can win the civil war against Trump and the Trump-Putineers a lot faster than they expect. It's like we can win World War III against Putin a lot faster than he expects. But Trump's trying to start a civil war in America. Has any ruler ever tried to start a civil war in the country that they are ruling before? No, I don't think so. If they have, let me know in chat. Yeah, nobody can read all these comments. Oh, I definitely expect your... I can't read all your comments. Sorry, you guys. I try to tell you not to write these comments. He says, you are trying to start a civil war, dumbass. No, the literal point of this live is to stop you idiots from falling for Trump and Putin's plans to start a civil war in America. Who's doing things that are trying to start a civil war? Trump keeps invading cities. Okay, he's trying to drive up the pressure and the tension as much as possible. Trump is blaming trans people left and right. As soon as somebody shoots Charlie Kirk, he's blaming trans people. Okay, he's like he had a plan ready to go, and he did. And trans people had nothing to do with it. Nothing. If anything, no, the roommate's not trans. If anything, the person you're currently saying is the trans person in the situation is helping the cops. You guys are messing things up. You guys are helping the terrorists. Okay? So you guys are the problem. Trans people aren't the problem. You guys are the problem. There's no trans people involved in the shooting. Nick Fuentes and his Groyper group, and you guys know that's what it is. Sorry I didn't see all these comments coming through. I could have read them on the way, but Ghost Samurai's he brags about threatening the FBI and making the FBI shit them, or the GBI, the Georgia Bureau of Investigation. He brags about making them shit themselves, and he brags about breaking up some Peachtree coven of witches. Ghost Samurai's off the charts in certain ways. You don't have to read these people's comments. My side. Why can't you ever get your right? This Jared Leach person, Jerid Leach, says your side, but not possessive Y-O-U-R. He has to be Y-O-U apostrophe R-E. Your side keeps killing people. No, my side never kills anybody. I'm an American. I'm on the left. The left are the last Americans left. You Trump-Putineers keep killing everybody. It was a Trump-Putineer, MAGA type, who killed the Congresswoman in Minnesota. It was a Trump-Putineer, MAGA type, who killed Charlie Kirk. Like, it's you guys. It's always you guys. Stop it. Stop being the next you guys. And stop being you guys along the way. I'm just trying to help y'all out and stop the civil war Trump tried to start. I can't read them all because they came in too fast. I read your comment now. You shouldn't have 420 in your name if you're arguing with me. You don't deserve weed. I'm sorry. Maybe I should just mute certain people so I have less to read. Oh, Dilly keeps spamming sheep. Oh my gosh, I can't do any of this moderation stuff. If you guys thought you had a good comment, just type it again, I guess. But I don't think any of you guys had a good comment. I'm not right or left. Well, that's no place to be. There's nothing wrong with being on the left. There's everything wrong with being on the right. You know, every Democrat voted to release the Epstein files. Every Republican voted against it. What do you want? I'm not saying all Democrats are okay. I'm just saying every Democrat voted to release the Epstein files. Every Republican voted against it. Every Republican voted to keep the Epstein files secret for Trump. What do you need? Putin and Trump working together to attack America. Putin's attacking American cities with his National Guard and military. Trump's attacking Poland. Putin's attacking Poland. Putin attacked actual Poland the same day Trump attacked Chicago. Chicago has the largest population of Polish Americans in the country. It's not coincidence. That's a plan that they both planned for weeks, and they planned it together because Trump's a traitor. You guys are traitors too. Or you can wake up and call out Trump. That's about it. I'm going to shut down the live. I wasn't planning on going another hour. I was planning on going another 10, 20 minutes. It's been 30 minutes. You guys don't support cops? ICE has been kidnapping cops. If cops supported cops, they would have stopped ICE by now. ICE has been kidnapping cops. You don't support cops. You know, you're MAGA, just Space Force in the streets, flat Earth in the sheets. You're all traitors. Ghost Samurai, you better stop stalking to married women. Anyway. I'm sorry if I missed any supportive comments. They get to try. I don't have to read you guys' comments anymore because I realized you can just replay the comments in the chat replay, so they can catch you in the chat replay. Like, people will read your comments in the chat replays because if people want to hunt Nazis and pedophiles, that's all I see. 126 people in here, and the only comments I see are from Nazis and pedophiles. I apologize if I miss comments that you guys are anti-Trump, but I haven't seen any anti-Trump comments. That means 125 Nazis and pedophiles in my life. Thanks, Net and YouTube. Net and YouTube is really disappointing in that way. Why is every Republican wrong? Why is every conservative wrong? Putin? Short answer, Putin. Somebody asked why every Republican was wrong. You can't do any read the comments stuff either, apparently. I don't have to read the comments if the comments were any good. Will Thacker says America is in trouble. Will Thacker could be an American who's concerned about America being in trouble. I'm going to try to read that as a positive comment. Yeah, I'll have a discussion with any of you guys. I'm just waiting for somebody to say something worth talking to. I am not continuing to listen to this bozo. It's clear what he thinks. I am out. I'm glad at least what I think is clear. Trump is trying to start a civil war. We should stop him. Putin's trying to start World War III. We should stop him. Hot take. No, I'm American, pussy. Yeah, that sounds, I believe you. Or you were American, and you became a Trump Putineer. You are a weak, cowardly man, said 78. I need to find stalking. I barely got into her channel. Matter of fact, I have her on Do Not Recommend. You need to do some real research before you get the internet and talk. I don't think I missed any good comments in here. Again, if you wrote a good comment, just repeat it. That'll take less time than me scrolling through. Anybody write a good comment? Apparently not. Trump's trying to start a civil war. Trump's trying to start Civil War II. Trying to rise, South to rise again is what Trump's trying to do. And it won't. It'll get stomped back down if that's the case. Like Trump's trying to make the country more white with a civil war. It'll be less white if you guys let Trump start a civil war. So stop, okay? Icarus says, you started something you don't want to finish. No, I want to finish it. I want Trump to be gone and you guys to realize that you were wrong. Liam von Winkle says, haha, turns out why the left is becoming the minority across the world. Because y'all the good ones. Ha ha ha. Like saying, oh, good guys finish last or something. Since we're the good people, we're the... No, I just don't think that's true. I think there's more good people than there's bad. Yeah, there's 97 people in here. I can't get a single person to like say something against Trump, for instance. Net and YouTube picks a bunch of Trump-Putineers from my lives, and you're all terrible. Did something else happen? Like Trump? Did something happen to Trump when we ate all our cake already? Hmm. Trump is horrible. Thank you. Hey, hold on, Nikki. Should I mute everyone else so we can talk? Nikki, hi. Oh, crap. Okay. Let this human know who I am. Sorry. Oh, there's 4 people still here. Wow. You guys must have been in my live before. You know how I roll. I roll out of battery. Sorry, but it's always interesting. I'm gonna come back and read all the comments. Okay. It's ironic because the furthest comment I got back to, that should tell you something when everyone in here thinks you're an idiot. That's what Frenzied Grunt said. But the thing about Frenzied Grunt is, Frenzied Grunt has been on YouTube for 8 years and has 1,000 subscribers. He's like the only one who has subscribers so far. You got 1,000 subscribers. So Frenzied Grunt maybe has content. Nice to meet you, Frenzied Grunt. We'll see how you feel about this when this is all done. Frenzied Grunt says, the left is definitely not the side of good. And then said, cuck. So Frenzied Grunt has 1,000 followers that like people who talk like that. Let's be real. Oh, there's 10 of you. Welcome back. Welcome back. Sorry, I ran out of battery. I'm plugged up now, but we're not going to stay long. We're just going to read all the comments. Because the next comment is from Dilly Dilly, who I've seen before and I don't have a positive opinion of yet. But, you know, change. Impress me. You should try reading your comments and you will see, and he will see how wrong you are and what lack of support even your subscribers have for what you're saying. My subscribers aren't here. People who say that they subscribe are always cool. You guys might be subscribers so you can like troll me in the future or something, but your opinions don't matter. Being the opposite of what you guys want is what being a good person is. In fact, I'll do you a solid right now. I'll extract the curses from all the Trumpers in comments, even the ones who aren't here anymore. But all the Trumpers in chat, I'll extract all the curses from you guys, and I'll curse Trump with them. I'll extract all the curses from you guys. You're welcome. And I'll curse Putin with them. And I'll extract all the curses from you guys. So you'll be free of those curses. And I'll curse Netanyahu with them. So you did some good. Joselina Figuera said, Trump is scared. I agree, Joselina Figuera. Joselina Figuera. If you are still here, I would like to talk to you. And I won't talk to these other people as much. Someone said Nikki Bravo. Icarus says LMAO, he quit the stream. Okay, so unfortunately I can't read the comments that happened before Frenzy Grant said that because the comments before my battery died must have disappeared. They'll be in the chat replay, so you can try to point them out if you'd like, and I'll reply to you in chats, in comments when this posts to my channel. And you can comment on my previous lives, and I'll reply to you in those as well. Trump should resign, Minnow. Wow, we've got some good people in here. We got Jolene Figueroa, Joselina Figueroa. I love your name. I wish I could say it better. I'm sorry about that. He said Trump is scared, which is entirely true. Trump is scared, and he lashes out like a little bully. And when you stand up to him, he'll go lash out against somebody else, which isn't good. We need to stop him from being in a position to lash out. But you can stop him. Like the Haitian community in Brooklyn, did y'all remember that one?
when he tried to kidnap Haitians from the Haitian community in Brooklyn. Uh uh uh. Trump should resign. Minnow. I hope we can talk more because Trump should definitely resign. I don't think he will resign because he's working for Putin. He's not just doing it for himself, he's working for Putin. And Putin's goal is to have him destroy a country. We got a lot of comments left. You guys gotta stop leaving comments so I can catch up. Let me catch up before you type any more comments, please. Thank you. I'll read all the comments if you just let me catch up. It's a joint project. It's socialism. You guys will participate in some socialism. We're gonna elect Mom Donnie. It's gonna be great. It'll show you guys what things can be like. You're gonna love it too. New York City's gonna be awesome under Mayor Mamdani. We gotta still elect him, so remind people to elect him. And don't write Cuomo in at all. You wait and see, Mr. Quomothers. I will be mayor. I'm gonna clean up this town. Jason Rogers says, now you can go show each other your chocolate starfishes. What? In the butt? I said, what? In the butt? You wanna do it in my butt? In my butt? You wanna do it in my butt? Okay. Yeah, that's a banger. Mai says ban LGTV. Mai seems to be kind of spammy. Ghost Samurai says Candace went rogue out of grief. What happened to Candace? Grief for the people of Gaza. Yeah, everybody who actually pays attention to that's going to change their tune or has been singing the sad tune all this time. But um, they'll those people will persist and survive and thrive and come back and will have a right to return to their homeland. Uh, Yeah, you have one friend, Dilly Dilly says. I got I don't know if she's a friend or she's plotting against me, but she's here. Um Mahi, we're gonna have to go ahead and mute you because you just keep repeating the same thing. I guess it's just to see whether or not I'll mute somebody. I will. Um, 'Cause it's time to read the other comments and get through this. Nikki, let's find out who Nikki is. Why? What is that? I didn't see what Nikki said. Soy boy got that Timu Wi-Fi. No, it's just my phone went out of battery. I wasn't planning on staying live this long. I was planning to go to sleep. Trump's trying to start a civil war. We gotta stop him. It was MAGA on MAGA crime. Demo Qualsall says, did anyone read those women's testimony from 2016 about Trump? I threw up. She was 13. Exactly, Demo Qualsall. Like, let them know. Like, it's obvious. Trump's the bad guy, okay? You guys stop being on Trump's side. What happened to your stream? Maui Wowie 420 says, Maui Wowie 420, welcome back. My phone ran out of battery. Ghost Samurai says, foot race. Liam Magiko says, Putin here. Haha, bro, you are so daft. Trump Putineer. A Trump Putineer. It's Trump and Putin and Mutineer all put together because they've mutinied against the good ship America. Margot Brennan says, someone needs to shut down your stream. Why are you guys such Nazis? Why do you have to be so obvious about being Nazis? Margot Brennan's been on 7 years and has 3 subscribers. And like, look, you guys try to burn books, or you're burning all these books, and you're attacking all these schools and attacking our libraries and attacking our government, and you're like so Nazi. It's so obviously Nazi. Margaret Brenton or Margot Brenton, Margotbrenton. Someone needs to round up you freaking Nazi MAGA Trump near traitors. Dilly Dilly says, looks like God didn't want to hear him anymore either. I don't know that God watches YouTube. Ghost Samurai says Thaisa wins. Thaisa wins. Who is Thaisa? I don't see a Thaisa. I don't know who Thaisa is, but thank you. Icarus says Maggie. What the hell is that? Maui Wowie says I think enough people that disagree with them fake a Wi-Fi issue. No, I told you my phone ran out of battery. Icarus, shut up. Dilly Dilly says what a loser. Liam Van Ginkel says no, I'm saying y'all aren't the good guys. Yeah, we are. Left are the good guys. We're trying to help you out. Icarus says, Mahi, what the hell does say baby mean? Dilly Dilly says it's always good to be on the right side. Ghost Samurai says, Mahi, they are cyber nerds. Goat. At last, Talisia is because I don't really watch Bella's stuff. So, Liam Von Ginkel says, agree, the right. Icarus says, how do you spell it? Say it in English. Messages held for review from Marie. Something about hentai. Something about. That's weird. They must have bleeped it because of hentai. Because I guess that's banned on YouTube. My wife 420 says he got mad that no one agreed. You guys typed all this stuff before I even restored the stream? Because why would you say that if I hadn't restored the stream yet? That's so weird. You guys were talking while I wasn't here. That's cool though. I kind of wondered how that worked. Let's see what else you had to say. Ghost Samurai says, I don't know, but I'll be nice since he's being nice. Oh, thanks. I'm always nice. Just because I'm telling people they're being Nazis and pedophiles by supporting Trump, that's still being nice. It's like the tough love, the love without so much empathy that you guys beg for so much. I'm just trying to wake people up to the fact that Trump's a pedophile, Trump's trying to destroy America, Trump's trying to start a civil war. We should stop him. It's that simple. Icarus says something about sushi, but they seem to be like a predator type of kick. Maui always says, I think he's having a psychosis episode, honestly. Not me. You think Trump is? I think he's always like that. Yeah, Mahi. Y'all can stop fighting in comments. Chimu Wi-Fi. Icarus. The definition of spamming is repeating the same message. Learn to read a dictionary, bro. My Wowie. Right, I'm head to bed. Hopefully this guy stays off liberal media or any media for that matter. I think dude could benefit from a fishing trip or some shit. I've actually been on vacations lately. It's funny. It's ironic that you said that. Icarus says some kind of like predator stuff. Okay. Let this human know who I am. Okay, now everybody's gone. Okay, great. We read all the comments. That was wonderful. And I don't have to read the comments anymore because they're in the chat replay. And if things like my phone battery goes dead because I was on too long anyway. K-Trom says, regardless, I wouldn't hate you. Thanks. I don't hate anybody really either. I mean, I hate the ideas that these people get sucked into the same group of ideas. I hate those ideas. And I do kind of hate the people while they're sucked into those ideas, especially when they're expressing those ideas. Especially when everybody's trying to tell them, hey, those are Nazi ideas. Don't express those. And they say that about us. We're on the left. They say that about us, but they're lies. When we say it about them, it's like we're just telling the truth. Like, it's a big difference. There's a big difference between the two. And we're not like shooting each other to start a civil war like that guy just did to Charlie Kirk. But like in Trump, it's like the Trump, Nick Fuentes, Putin side of their terrorist network shot the Trump, Charlie Kirk, Putin side of their terrorist network. That's so stupid. That's such a stupid thing to be like starting a civil war over. So we need to not do that. We need to not let that happen. And they're doing it partly for Putin to try to so he can start World War III, and they can like keep America out of it because they got us wrapped up in a civil war. It's so stupid and it's so obvious. And like I'm calling it out before it's like officially started really happening because Trump really couldn't get a civil war going for Charlie Kirk, and like I mean he's still working on it. Obviously, he's still trying to do that. His supporters, a lot of them really want that. Let's just not let them have it. Let's not take the bait. Just nobody do anything that Trump and Putin want you to do. Nobody do anything to like start a civil war in America because that's stupid. Like we already did that. You guys already lost. I mean, your side already lost, and you would lose again, even worse this time. So you don't want that to happen. Like, just you know, like let's just not do that. Let's not have a civil war just because Trump wants it. And I'm just saying, let's not even have part of it. Let's not even just don't even think about violent things. There's no reason to be violent. Like, it's so stupid. Here I'll put it this way: if you're violent, you're the bad guys are gonna say that you're trans. So don't be violent if you. But I mean, that's not really the way to motivate people because there's nothing wrong with being trans. But if you guys don't like being trans, I think maybe that will motivate you. Don't do anything violent because then they'll say you're trans. Like stop. Like it's so stupid. You know, they're trying to make people violent, to try to start a civil war. And they're trying to do that to distract from Putin's World War III. And we don't really need World War III or a civil war, but we need to defend the world against Putin and Trump. Like, it's not that hard. Anyway, I don't. Okay, our Trump has a comment. I'm glad I read your comment before I shut the live down because I'm about ready to shut down. The mindset from the 1960s is that the past, in your opinion. Why do you think everyone in the South still thinks that way? It's not that everyone in the South does think that. I'm from the South, and I wasn't the only one there who thinks this way. You know, it's just the South is different, but it's not that different than the rest of America. But like, racism is a problem. It's a problem that some people want to like have or want to like be in that problem. They want to like make that problem more institutionalized. It's a problem that people have, and it's a problem our institutions have. We need to root it out and fix it. We tried to root it out and fix it, including like removing statues that were racist. And now Trump wants to bring the statues back, name things racist things again, remove all traces of black people in our history and all this racist stuff, right? And they wanted to threaten all the right after they shot Charlie Kirk, right after again, MAGA on MAGA crime, Mormonic extremism, Mormonic terrorism, Mormon terrorism, MAGA on MAGA crime. And right after they did their MAGA on MAGA crime, they started threatening black universities and colleges. What is that? Right after Trump was taking over the presidency the second time, they started threatening just random black people. They were like sending out all these racist threats. Like hundreds of thousands of racist threats to black people's phones. Like they had this phone bank ready to go, threatening black people. And I thought maybe maybe they expected Kamala was going to win the election, and so they wanted to threaten black people with hundreds of thousands of threats ready to go. And then when Trump won, they were shocked, but they were like, well, we can't waste all these good threats. Or they just were like, as part of their celebration of Trump winning, they wanted to threaten all these people. So it's the same thing. They shot Charlie Kirk and immediately threatened all these colleges and universities so that the black colleges and universities had to shut down. And they immediately started blaming a trans person, Sky Valadez. And they immediately started, when their backup started making up that other people were trans. Like it's all part of a program they have, and they've got a lot of the media repeating it. They got a lot of people feeling like, like they're the smart ones when they repeat it. It's so bad. Like all it does is make people show people are really stupid, and nobody's really reporting the full truth. Like we look like like the the ones who are, you know, breaking the truth. I don't know why they won't just tell you, but I mean I know they never do. Anytime there's terrorists attacking, the last thing they'll tell you is that they're Trumpers, that they're MAGAs and stuff. They won't tell you that because they're trying to protect that side so much, even though that's the side responsible most of the time. Being a minority white guy in a black neighborhood, there was more live than in the suburbs. More love than in the suburbs, yeah. My autocorrects love to live a lot too. It's weird they're so against love. Yeah, I believe you. There's a lot more love in that neighborhood. Um, do you think we can make a bigger difference on local and state level or only focus on federal? Uh, I mean, everybody likes to say that you have to focus on local and state, that that's where things really matter. But in a way, and I think I'm sure there's some truth to that. I'm sure people wouldn't say that much if it wasn't really important to be involved in local and state stuff. But if it's an excuse for letting the federal stuff be what it is, I mean, you need to work on the local and state so that you get the representation to impeach Trump. But we also don't need to wait until next November for our chances to have an election next November. And then our chances to win, I think we would have good chances to win if we can have a fair election next November. But that's a big if. If we're even having an election next November. And it's a long wait. Like, we definitely have enough reasons that we should be able to get 5 or 6 congressmen to vote with the almost half the House that are Democrats to just yank Trump under the 25th Amendment. I don't think it takes more than a few people to come over, and the Epstein file should be enough to do that. Like, we really don't have to wait. But I probably should shut down the live. So I think that we need to use what we can locally to force a national change. We have to change directions nationally if we want a country. We should never have elected this guy again. We should never elect him the first time. We should have elected Bernie the first time. We should never elect him again. We should never have elected him again, and we should never elect him again. And yeah, we're going to pay a high price for that. Like, you had to pry him out of the White House the first time. He had a whole ass insurrection to try to stay in the White House the first time. And then he's, going to be harder to get out this time, even with a vote, even if we get to vote, all that stuff. And then, um, well, yeah, it was hard to get him out last time. It'll be harder to get him out this time unless we kind of are sneaky about it or something happens that it doesn't expect. J.D. Vance can pull him out under the 25th Amendment too. The 25th Amendment isn't impeachment. It's just pointing out to any of the number of things he's done and saying, look, this shows that it's obvious that you're unfit for office. If J.D. Vance gets about half of his cabinet to agree with him, they pull him out and J.D. Vance becomes president. J.D. Vance isn't, you know, strong enough to do that. J.D. Vance is afraid of being president, and he'd be easy to topple because he's weak and because he wears those high heel boots. Oh, yeah, states' rights is a weird question. That Nazis are always on the side of states' rights when it's about being racist, and then Nazis are on the side of federal rights when it's about, like, I don't know, shutting down anything good. So yeah, states' rights isn't really an issue. It's like a thing that Nazis do. So I don't really, especially coming from the South, like states' rights is like a dog whistle or something. Anyway, uh, I gotta shut down the live, but yeah, Trump's trying to start a civil war. We gotta stop him. Um, it's as simple as that. Trump had one branch of his terrorist network shoot Charlie Kirk, another branch of his terrorist network. They're all terrorists. They're all Nazis. They're all traitors. They're all pedophiles at this point because we can tell Trump is a pedophile. Like, I don't know how much more anybody needs to know, but we need to call that out and stop it. And check out my other content and stuff. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in my next live. But thanks for talking to me, especially K-Trom. It's nice to have an actual conversation with you. But because usually I get so many trolls and stuff, so good to have an actual conversation. But a mutual agreement between voters is better between states than federal. I don't know. I think maybe if we just had more congressmen and stuff, more, each one represented less people, so that they would be, each one would be representative of a smaller group of people instead of these big groups that they keep trying to shift around to play the game one way or another. Just break it all up and let the representatives actually represent actual communities of people. Just make, I don't know, 30% more representatives or twice as many. But anyway, check out my content. Check out the hashtag Pillar Revolution or other stuff. Church of Judas Fair Liberation Front. Hope you have a good night. See you next time.